Hello everyone, I'm at the legendary Boathouse in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and we are here to plug you into the local music scene along the Grand Strand. I'm here with my good friends, Transit Soul, so stick around.
The bright blue eyes, the birds, they know my name. Honeysuckle promises and hopes that things will change. The summer skin it slowly fades into a lighter shade. That reminds me of the girl I was before I went away. Now I'm falling, and I'm falling in and out of this thing, love, we call it love. In and out of this thing, love, we call it love. The stars that guide me, hold me tight when I have lost my way. Send me sweet comforts from a world so far away. Winds of change, they beckon me to go the other way. But the stubborn heart of mine, it tells me I should stay. Now I'm falling, and I'm falling in and out of this thing, love, we call it love. In and out of this thing, love, we call it love. I hear the sound of laughter every time you say my name. But when the silence drowns it out, I feel nothing but the pain. The cold wind blows, you keep me warm, a shelter from the storm. The rage is on inside of me, 'cause I was battle born. Now I'm falling, and I'm falling in and out of this thing, love, we call it love. In and out of this thing, love, we call it love. And I'm falling, and I'm falling in and out of this thing, love, we call it love. In and out of this thing, love, we call it love. In and out of this thing, in and out of this thing, in and out of this thing, love, we call it love. In and out of this thing, in and out of this thing, in and out of this thing, love, we call it love. Ooh, we call it love.
Wow, what a performance. You blew us all away, that was great. So I have a few questions for y'all. How did you end up here in Myrtle Beach, of all places? Of all places,
Wow,
right?
what a story.
That's a doozy. So to try to keep it short and simple, we both work for different travel shows,
Right.
and we were supposed to film a show in Poland, and I had booked some shows in Prague. So we were actually going to be doing a European tour, and COVID said no, and we actually had a question mark with 3 days on the calendar that said Myrtle Beach because we met a man named Jeff Cole at a gig in Florida. He's like, hey, you guys should come to Myrtle Beach. And I was like, have you ever heard of Myrtle Beach?
No.
And we were like, well, we've done weirder and done more with less. So we came here, and then the world shut down. And then we met amazing friends. This guy named Luke Shark, you might know him. He taught me how to surf. And then Mark, you want to add on to that?
Yeah, it was, when the world did shut down, it was an interesting time because we were looking for family, and here we are, like, sitting around family members, and we didn't even realize it until months down the road, but here we were, so thanks to you and everybody else that we've met here, we feel like we're a part of the family in Myrtle Beach.
Well, I was going to ask you, you guys are both avid surfers, right? And you're also, extremely talented musicians and so forth. So let me ask you a question. What is the, surfing is magic and music is magic and so forth. What is the tie-in between surfing and music for both of you?
Oh, wow.
So for me, and I actually just wrote a song called Latitude about it. When you're a new musician, you have so much to overcome, and it's a constant getting knocked down and then having a huge win and knowing that you have to go back out there and do it again. And surfing really embodies that in every sense of the word, because I literally get the crap beaten out of me, sorry mom, but then I go back out and I catch the most amazing ride ever, and then every hurt or scratch is worth it. And I feel like for me personally, music is that same thing. I'll have the most amazing gig with 2,000 people and the most intimate gig with 2 people where I know that something I sang meant something to them, and then I get to play with him. So it's one and the same, really, for me. What do you think?
I think it's all waves, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Sound waves, waves in the ocean. I mean, if you know how to sync up with it, then it's music,
I never
it's
thought
harmony.
about that, because waves, ocean waves and musical waves,
they're all vibrations.
it's magic, right?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
And once you put a musical wave, it goes on forever.
Yeah.
And once you surf a wave, right, it's the end of something that started
But it's also
thousands of miles
syncing
away.
up with that wave.
Yeah, right.
You're
The
being
tides.
harmonious with the ocean.
Wow.
Can I change my answer? I like that one a lot better.
It's okay. Now, we mentioned that you guys were already on you were on a world tour when you stopped here to do basically a house concert on the way to somewhere else, and you ended up staying.
Yeah.
And of course the community appreciates that. But what inspirations have you found lately? What has inspired you to keep going despite COVID, despite all the stuff going on? You guys have kept going. You stayed put, and you tried to create something really special here in Myrtle Beach. You really contributed. So what's your current inspiration to just keep going musically and not throw in the towel?
I have to say 100% our surroundings.
Okay.
It has, if you're not in the right place, you're not going to be inspired, and any musician can attest to that.
Specifically, how is these surroundings differently than any place you've been before?
Just the community here in Myrtle Beach. It really has been a place for us to kind of get a sense of home, recollect ourselves, and be creative again.
All right, let's go back in time then. Let's think about that. And you're from the Gulf Coast and you're from the Midwest, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you both are 100% professional musicians. This is what you do for a living, right? Mm-hmm. How did this start? What made you decide to dedicate your life to music?
Well, she started and it added me, so go ahead,
So I can honestly say that I'm blessed beyond measure when it comes to music, because there was never a moment in my entire existence that I didn't know what original music was, or I didn't know what songwriting or performing was. Like in kindergarten, when everybody would have these papers that said, what do you want to be when you grow up? Mine was always to be a singer or a performer. My dad has played festivals and has been a studio musician for countless different people in the industry my whole life, and I was always getting kicked out of writing sessions because I talk a little too much. But I've always grown up in roadhouses and festivals playing music, and I just wanted to do it. And then someone told me I couldn't do it, and that inspired me in a way that you can't imagine. And I was hell-bent on doing that. I just graduated school. I went to school for opera and was like, what am I going to do with opera? Fell in love with the Mississippi Delta Blues and bought a guitar and booked a whole summer's worth of gigs and didn't know how to play yet.
All right, so I have a question for each of you, and it's off the subject and everything. And you're not allowed to say Red Rocks because that's too easy. All right?
Okay.
Because everyone's going to say that.
Dang it.
All right, so first of all, if you could play any venue in the world, where would you play?
Okay, actually, because I've asked this question enough now, I've thought
Right.
a lot about that. So I have two answers. In a cave, because
Oh yeah.
the sound would be awesome.
Yeah.
And I've actually been able to do this already, but I got to sing in a cathedral in Prague with the
Oh,
choir.
wow. That's crazy.
And I really want to have a choir sing my own music that I compose
Okay.
in another cathedral in Europe somewhere. So that's my dream.
All right, you have time to think about it. What do you think?
Yeah, it's so funny because Red Rocks really is my
Well, yeah, that's
dream
why I
venue.
said it's too
Yeah.
easy. It's too easy to
Yeah,
answer.
it really is.
Yeah.
I mean, it is that special of a place.
Yeah, right.
But if anything, I would say maybe the DSO Symphony Hall in Detroit because
yeah.
it is an amazing
Good call.
acoustic space,
Heck yeah.
and I've seen many concerts there. But either one of those two places, to be honest
Yeah.
with you, I love Red Rocks because I've never heard a sound system so loud and so clear
Yeah.
in a live environment in my entire life. It's very impressive.
I've never been there. So after hearing every person say they want to play there, I'm like, all right, I'm going.
Yeah, that's why I like eliminate it. Because
Yeah.
come on, who's gonna not want to play there? Because it's just a great venue. It's a natural venue and all that kind of stuff. So I guess the next question is who are you gonna play with? You're not allowed to say local artists because I know you guys love all the local artists. You got to pick someone like famous or whatever. So, or okay, famous person. Who would you pick?
I know who you would pick. So you go for it.
Oh wait a minute, I'm gonna do this too. Dave Matthews, not allowed to say Dave Matthews.
No, Dave.
Okay.
Because everybody's got Dave. Red
Even
Rocks.
though I do like Dave,
Yeah, I like Dave.
I would have played with Andrew Bird because
yeah, yeah.
he's an amazing violinist and songwriter, and I just really appreciate his songwriting.
How would you guys compliment each other? Because you're an amazing violinist and an amazing celloist.
I would play cello with him.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
oddly enough, he doesn't have a lot of cellists playing with him.
There you go.
He really doesn't, and I think that's a big missing part in his music. So Andrew, if you're listening,
Come on, Andrew.
yeah,
He's your boy.
All right, your turn. What do you think?
This is going to sound like a cop-out, but I don't teach anymore. I still teach private lessons. But
Yeah.
the joy that comes from teaching people my songs and having them perform them, especially children, I would have like a huge children's choir and just do
That's
my
cool.
own original
Oh
music.
wow,
Yeah.
yeah.
That would be
I'm
epic.
really
Really
passionate
cool.
about that.
Wow.
That'd be epic. Yeah, yeah. So at some point, everyone's a new musician. You guys have been around for a while and performing and so forth. So what advice do each of you have for new musicians, starting with you?
Tune your instrument.
That's a good one. Yeah, because
You
you got
can't
it too.
believe how many people will just play on stage without actually spending the time to.
Yeah.
Tuning is caring.
Okay. Good advice.
You know, there's so many things that I could say from booking to networking, but I'm going to throw all that out the window and say to take chances. Every cool thing that's ever happened in my career has been because I just started over, threw everything in a car and just went, or said yes to going across the world and playing in Australia by myself. I just think that I'd rather fail at something completely than play it safe and not know if I could do it. So take chances.
I had a friend one time tell me that if you're going to do something that you would do for free anyway. And obviously music is one of those things. I mean, you play music for free, and now you're getting paid to pay it. Excuse me, now you're getting paid to play it. And I guess what I want to ask you is like, now that you're doing this for a living, right? You know, it's a regular job. What part of the job is not fun and what part of the job is fun?
I feel like you could answer this
Ouch!
quicker than
Wow!
I could.
Yeah. I really believe that if you can find joy in your tone or enjoy and just like setting up the event, I mean, you can find happiness in that as well too.
That's a really good answer. You know, I used to joke with someone, and I can't remember who told me this, but being a musician is the only job where you can go from being a rock star to a roadie in like 3 seconds flat. So obviously, no one likes carrying amps upstairs. But I would say the hardest thing is when you just don't have it in your soul to give it, but you know that you have to. I actually totaled my car and had to go play a gig that night one time, and I was so mad at my band for making me do it. And I saw this little kid dancing and just living in the moment, and I realized that it's so much bigger than me. It doesn't matter what I'm going through. It's about bringing joy to other people who may not have the ability to get it out through song. So that to me is the best part.
I've enjoyed talking with y'all. This is so great. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to interview you two.
Yes.
And thanks for doing this program. This is great.
For a second, Luke, could you just tell everybody what it is that you do with Adaptive Surf Project? Because in addition to your larger than life personality, seriously, and how you are so connected with everyone who meets you, I would love for everyone to know a little bit about what you're passionate about really quick.
We take individuals with disabilities, we take individuals who happen to have disabilities, because all of us probably have some kind of disability, right?
That's the truth. We're musicians.
Yeah, whatever. Mine is, judgment. But anyway, we take people who happen to have a disability, serving, and just try to share that with people. And then that's led into taking people like biking and playing music with people that have disability, that happen to have disabilities, or playing wheelchair basketball or whatever. And that's basically where we are.
Well, we've learned in this series that it's all about communication and community and family, and that was why it was so important for us to have you come on and be a host, because in addition to being our family, you're a family member to everyone in this community. And guys, we want you in our family, we want you in our community, and the best way to do that is just to get in touch with us, interact with us, tip your local musician, tell them that you liked their song, support them, buy their album, listen to their Spotify, whatever it is. If it means something to you, let them know. So please support original music, local artists, and us. So Luke, will you take it on out?
Yeah, I mean, local original music, that's the best, man.
Their bright blue eyes, the birds, they know my name. Honeysuckle promises and hopes that things will change. The summer skin it slowly fades to a lighter shade that reminds me of the girl I was before